Imagine having the power to shape your deepest self, to guide your inner world as easily as you steer a car. That's what controlling your soul is all about. Now, you might be thinking, control my soul? That sounds a bit weird. But stick with me, because this idea could change everything for you. It's not about forcing yourself to be someone you're not. It's about finding out who you really are, deep down inside. It's like having a secret superpower that most people don't even know exists. Think about it. How many times have you felt like your emotions were running wild? Or like you were stuck in a rut, unable to move forward? Maybe you've had days where you felt completely disconnected from yourself, almost like you were watching your life from the outside. These are all signs that your soul, your true inner self, isn't fully under your control. But here's the exciting part. You can learn to take charge. You can discover how to quiet the noise in your head, find your true purpose, and live a life that feels genuinely fulfilling. And the best part? It's not some complicated, mystical process. It's something anyone can learn, including you. Now, you might be wondering, why should I care about controlling my soul? Isn't that just some spiritual mumbo-jumbo? Let me tell you why this matters so much. When you don't have a handle on your inner self, life can feel like a real struggle. It's like trying to sail a boat without a rudder. You're at the mercy of every wind and wave that comes along. Think about those times when you felt totally overwhelmed by your emotions. Maybe you lashed out at someone you care about because you couldn't control your anger. Or perhaps you've missed out on great opportunities because fear held you back. These are examples of what happens when your soul, your inner essence, is running the show without any guidance from you. But it gets even trickier. When you're not in control of your soul, you might find yourself living a life that doesn't feel like your own. You might wake up one day and realize you're in a job you hate, or a relationship that doesn't fulfill you, or living in a place that doesn't feel like home. And you might have no idea how you got there or how to change it. This lack of control can lead to some serious problems. People often end up feeling lost, confused, and deeply unhappy. They might struggle with constant stress, anxiety, or depression. Some folks turn to unhealthy habits to cope, like overeating, drinking too much, or endlessly scrolling through social media. It's like they're trying to fill a hole inside themselves, but they're using the wrong tools. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be this way. When you learn to control your soul, you're putting yourself in the driver's seat of your life. You get to decide where you're going and how you're going to get there. Instead of being pushed around by every thought and feeling that pops up, you can choose which ones to listen to and which ones to let go. Imagine waking up every morning with a clear sense of purpose. Picture yourself facing challenges with calm confidence, knowing that you have the inner strength to handle whatever comes your way. Think about how it would feel to have relationships that truly nourish you, work that fulfills you, and a deep sense of peace and contentment in your everyday life. This isn't just feel-good talk. People who have learned to control their souls report amazing benefits. They often find they're much better at handling stress. They make decisions more easily and confidently. Their relationships improve because they're more in tune with their own needs and the needs of others. Many discover talents and passions they never knew they had. And here's something really cool. When you get good at controlling your soul, you might find that you start having an impact on the world around you. It's like there's a ripple effect. As you become more centered and purposeful, you naturally start to inspire and influence others. You might find yourself becoming a leader at work, a source of strength for your family, or a positive force in your community. But I get it. This all might sound a bit overwhelming. You might be thinking, this sounds great, but how do I actually do it? Don't worry, that's exactly what we're going to cover in this video. I'm going to break it down into simple, practical steps that anyone can follow. You don't need any special skills or knowledge. You just need an open mind and a willingness to try something new. So, are you ready to take control of your soul and start living the life you've always dreamed of? Great. Let's dive in and discover how you can tap into this incredible power that's been inside you all along. All right, now that you understand why controlling your soul is so important, let's talk about what we're going to cover in this video. I've broken it down into easy-to-follow steps, so you can start working on this right away. First, we're going to talk about what your soul actually is. I know that might sound a bit strange, After all, we all have a soul, right? But understanding what we mean when we say soul is super important. It's not some mystical, out there concept. It's a real part of who you are, and I'm going to explain it in a way that makes sense. Next, we'll look at some signs that your soul might be out of control. This is important because sometimes we don't even realize that we're not in the driver's seat of our own lives. I'll give you some real-life examples that you might recognize from your own experiences. Then, we'll dive into the good stuff, the benefits of controlling your soul. Trust me, once you hear about all the positive changes this can bring to your life, you'll be excited to get started. After that, we'll get into the practical steps. I'm going to give you 3 main strategies for taking control of your soul. Each one comes with a simple exercise that you can try right away. These aren't complicated techniques that take years to master. They're straightforward practices that you can start using today to make a real difference in your life. The first step we'll cover is all about self-awareness. This is like turning on the lights in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see everything that's in there. I'll show you how to start noticing your thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them. The second step focuses on a simple form of meditation. Now, don't worry if you've tried meditation before and found it hard. The technique I'm going to share with you is super easy and doesn't require you to sit still for hours or empty your mind completely. The third step is about setting intentions. This is where you start actively shaping your inner world instead of just observing it. It's a powerful technique that can help you align your everyday actions with your deepest values and goals. Throughout the video, I'll be sharing lots of real-life examples and stories. These will help you see how these ideas play out in everyday situations. I want you to be able to relate this information to your own life, so you can see exactly how it applies to you. Now, I know this might all sound like a lot, but don't worry. We're going to take it step by step, and I'll explain everything in simple terms. You don't need any special knowledge or skills to get started. All you need is an open mind and a willingness to try something new. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of what your soul is, why controlling it matters, and how you can start doing it right away. You'll have practical tools that you can use every day to take charge of your inner world and start creating the life you really want. And here's the best part. You can start seeing results pretty quickly. Of course, like any skill, controlling your soul takes practice. But many people notice positive changes in their lives almost as soon as they start applying these techniques. You might find yourself feeling calmer, more focused, or more in tune with your true self within just a few days of trying these methods. Remember, this journey is all about you. Everyone's path is a little different. So as we go through these steps, think about how you can adapt them to fit your own life and needs. The goal isn't to follow a strict set of rules, but to discover what works best for you. So, are you ready to discover the power of your soul and learn how to guide it? Great! Let's get started on this amazing journey together. By the time we're done, you'll have the tools you need to take control of your inner world and start living the life you've always dreamed of. What is your soul? Let's start by talking about what we mean when we say soul. Now, I know this might sound like a big, complicated idea, but it's actually pretty simple. Your soul is the deepest part of who you are. It's not something separate from you. It's the core of your being, the essence of what makes you, you. Think of your soul like the roots of a tree. You can't see the roots when you look at a tree, but they're absolutely crucial. They provide nourishment, keep the tree stable, and determine how big and strong it can grow. Your soul does the same thing for you. It's the source of your deepest feelings, your most important values, and your sense of purpose in life. Now, your soul isn't just about feelings or emotions. It's also connected to your thoughts, your actions, and the way you see the world. It's like the control center of your whole self. When people talk about listening to your gut or following your heart, they're really talking about connecting with their soul. Here's an example to make it clearer. Let's say you have to make a big decision, like whether to take a new job. Your mind might be busy weighing the pros and cons, the salary, the commute, the job responsibilities. But underneath all that, there's often a deeper feeling about whether this job is right for you. That feeling comes from your soul. It's your inner wisdom trying to guide you. Your soul is also the part of you that feels a connection to something bigger than yourself. This could be a connection to nature, to other people, or to a higher power if you're spiritually inclined. It's that sense of awe you might feel when you watch a beautiful sunset, or the deep love you feel for your family and friends. But here's the thing. Even though your soul is always there, many of us aren't very good at listening to it. We get caught up in the noise of everyday life, our to-do lists, our worries, the expectations other people have of us. It's like we're so busy looking at the leaves and branches of our tree that we forget all about the roots. And that's where the idea of controlling your soul comes in. It's not about forcing your soul to be something it's not. Instead, it's about learning to listen to your soul, to understand what it's telling you, and to let it guide your life in a positive way. Think of it like this. Your soul is like a wise friend who always wants the best for you. But if you never take the time to sit down and really listen to this friend, you'll miss out on all their good advice. Controlling your soul is about making time for that conversation, really hearing what your soul has to say, and then making choices that align with its guidance. Understanding your soul is the first step in learning to control it. Once you recognize that you have this deep, wise part of yourself, you can start to pay more attention to it. You can learn to notice when your soul is trying to tell you something, whether it's through a gut feeling, a sudden inspiration, or a sense of peace when you make a certain choice. Remember, your soul is unique to you. Just like no two trees have exactly the same roots, no two people have exactly the same soul. That's why it's so important to get to know your own soul, rather than trying to follow someone else's path. Your soul knows what's best for you, what will make you truly happy and fulfilled. Learning to control your soul is really about learning to be your truest, most authentic self. Now that we understand what the soul is, let's talk about how you can tell if your soul is not under your control. These signs are like red flags, telling you that your inner self needs some attention. Don't worry if you recognize some of these in yourself. We all struggle with these things sometimes. The important thing is to start noticing them so you can begin to make positive changes. One big sign of an uncontrolled soul is feeling constantly overwhelmed or stressed out. It's like your emotions are always running at full speed, and you can't find the brake pedal. You might find yourself snapping at people over small things, or feeling like you're going to cry at the drop of a hat. This happens because when your soul is out of control, your emotions tend to take over. Instead of you managing your feelings are managing you. Another common sign is feeling lost or without purpose. You might wake up in the morning and think, what's the point of all this? Or you might find yourself going through the motions of your day without any real sense of meaning or satisfaction. This happens when we're disconnected from our soul's guidance. Without that inner compass, it's easy to feel like you're just drifting through life. Indecisiveness is another big red flag. If you constantly struggle to make decisions, big or small, it might be because you're not in tune with your soul. Your soul has a deep wisdom about what's right for you, but if you're not listening to it, every choice can feel overwhelming. You might find yourself asking everyone else for their opinion, but never really trusting your own judgment. Feeling stuck is another common sign. Maybe you know you're unhappy in your job or your relationship, but you can't seem to make a change. Or perhaps you have dreams and goals, but you never take any steps toward achieving them. This often happens when fear or self-doubt, which come from not being connected to your soul, are running the show. Physical symptoms can also be a sign of an uncontrolled soul. Things like constant fatigue, frequent headaches, or trouble sleeping can all be your body's way of telling you that something's off on a deeper level. Remember, your soul and your body are connected. When your soul is out of whack, your body often feels it too. Another sign to watch out for is a tendency to numb yourself. This might mean reaching for a glass of wine every night to take the edge off, spending hours scrolling through social media, or binge-watching TV shows to avoid your thoughts and feelings. While these things aren't always bad in moderation, using them constantly to escape from yourself is a sign that your soul needs attention. Relationship problems can also indicate an uncontrolled soul. You might find yourself constantly arguing with loved ones, or feeling disconnected from the people around you. Or maybe you keep ending up in the same types of unhealthy relationships over and over again. When your soul is out of control, it's hard to form and maintain healthy connections with others. Lack of creativity or inspiration is another sign to watch for. Your soul is the source of your unique gifts and talents. When it's not being heard, you might feel like your creative well has run dry. This doesn't just apply to artistic creativity. It could show up as a lack of problem-solving skills at work or feeling like you've lost your spark in any area of life. Feeling like you're living someone else's life is a big red flag. Maybe you've chosen a career to please your parents, or you're in a relationship because it's what society expects, not because it's what you truly want. If you often think, "This isn't me," or "This isn't the life I wanted," it's a sign that your actions are out of sync with your soul. Finally, a constant sense of dissatisfaction can indicate an uncontrolled soul. This isn't just about having a bad day now and then. It's more like a persistent feeling that something's missing, even when things in your life are going well on the surface. You might achieve goals or acquire things you thought would make you happy, only to find that the satisfaction is short-lived. Remember, experiencing some of these signs doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. We all go through periods where we feel disconnected from our true selves. The key is to recognize these signs for what they are, signals that it's time to tune into your soul and start taking control. Now that we've talked about what it looks like when your soul is out of control, let's focus on the good stuff. What happens when you learn to control your soul? Trust me, the benefits are pretty amazing. This isn't just about fixing problems. It's about opening up a whole new way of living that's more fulfilling and authentic. One of the biggest benefits is a sense of inner peace. When you're in control of your soul, you're not constantly battling with yourself. That voice in your head that's always worrying or criticizing gets a lot quieter. Instead, you start to feel a deep sense of calm and contentment. It's like the difference between trying to swim against a strong current and floating peacefully down a gentle river. Another huge benefit is clarity. When you're connected to your soul, decision-making becomes so much easier. It's like you have an inner GPS guiding you. You'll start to notice that you just know what the right choice is, without having to agonize over every little decision. This clarity extends to your overall direction in life too. You'll have a much clearer sense of your purpose and what you want to achieve. Improved relationships are another fantastic benefit of controlling your soul. When you're in tune with yourself, you're better able to connect with others. You'll find that you're more patient, more understanding, and better at communicating. Plus, because you're more secure in yourself, you'll attract healthier relationships and be less likely to put up with ones that don't serve you well. Increased resilience is another great outcome. Life will always have its ups and downs, but when you're in control of your soul, you're much better equipped to handle whatever comes your way. It's like you have a sturdy anchor keeping you steady even when the storms of life are raging around you. You'll bounce back from setbacks more quickly and find it easier to stay positive in tough times. Creativity and inspiration tend to flow more freely when you're connected to your soul. Your soul is the source of your unique gifts and perspectives. When you're in tune with it, you'll find yourself having more ideas, feeling more inspired, and being more innovative in all areas of your life. This doesn't just apply to artistic creativity. It could show up as creative problem-solving at work or coming up with fun new ideas for your family time. Physical health often improves when you control your soul. Remember how we talked about physical symptoms being a sign of an uncontrolled soul? Well, the opposite is also true. When your soul is in harmony, your body often follows suit. Many people report having more energy, sleeping better, and even seeing improvements in chronic health conditions when they learn to control their souls. A stronger sense of self-worth is another beautiful benefit. When you're connected to your soul, you have a deep understanding of your inherent value. You're less likely to seek validation from others or to compare yourself to everyone around you. Instead, you have a solid foundation of self-esteem that comes from within. Greater authenticity is a natural outcome of controlling your soul. You'll find yourself being more genuine in your interactions with others and making choices that truly align with who you are. No more pretending to be someone you're not or doing things just because you think you should. You'll be living your life in a way that feels true to your deepest self. Increased joy and satisfaction in life is perhaps the most wonderful benefit of all. When you're in control of your soul, you'll find more joy in everyday moments. Things that you might have taken for granted before suddenly become sources of delight. You'll also feel a deeper sense of satisfaction with your life as a whole, knowing that you're living in alignment with your true self. Finally, many people report a greater sense of connection to something larger than themselves. This could be a feeling of connection to nature, to humanity as a whole, or to a higher power if you're spiritually inclined. This sense of connection can bring a profound feeling of meaning and purpose to your life. Remember, these benefits don't all appear overnight. Controlling your soul is a journey, and you'll likely find that these positive changes unfold gradually over time. But even small steps in this direction can start to bring noticeable improvements to your life. The key is to be patient with yourself and to keep moving forward, one day at a time. Now that we understand what the soul is, why it matters, and the benefits of controlling it, let's dive into the practical steps. The first and most crucial step in controlling your soul is developing self-awareness. This might sound simple, but it's actually a powerful tool that can transform your life. Self-awareness is all about paying attention to what's going on inside you. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see everything that's there. When you're self-aware, you notice your thoughts, feelings, and reactions without getting caught up in them. Think of it this way. Most of the time, we're so busy living our lives that we don't stop to notice what's actually going on inside us. We might snap at someone without realizing we're feeling stressed, or make a decision without understanding what's really driving us. Self-awareness changes that. It's like stepping back and watching your own life as if it were a movie. Here's a simple exercise to start building your self-awareness. Set aside a few minutes each day to check in with yourself. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths. Then, ask yourself these questions. What am I feeling right now? What thoughts are going through my mind? How does my body feel? Don't try to change anything, just notice what's there. At first, this might feel a bit strange or uncomfortable. You might find that your mind wanders, or that you're not sure how to answer these questions. That's okay. The important thing is to keep practicing. Over time, you'll get better at noticing what's going on inside you. As you practice self-awareness, you might start to notice patterns. Maybe you always feel anxious on Sunday nights, or you tend to get angry when you're hungry. These insights are incredibly valuable. They help you understand yourself better and give you the power to make changes if you want to. Self-awareness also helps you connect with your soul. Remember, your soul is always there, guiding you. But if you're not paying attention, you might miss its signals. By becoming more aware of your thoughts and feelings, you're creating space to hear your soul's whispers. One important thing to remember about self-awareness is that it's not about judging yourself. When you notice a thought or feeling, try not to label it as good or bad. Instead, just observe it with curiosity. This non-judgmental awareness is key to controlling your soul. As you practice self-awareness, you might uncover some things about yourself that surprise you. Maybe you'll realize that a job you thought you loved actually makes you miserable, or that a relationship you've been struggling with doesn't align with your values. These realizations can be uncomfortable, but they're also opportunities for growth and positive change. Remember, becoming self-aware is a process. It takes time and practice. Be patient with yourself and celebrate small victories. Even noticing one emotion or reaction that you hadn't been aware of before is a step in the right direction. Now that we've started building self-awareness, let's move on to the second step, meditation. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Meditation? Isn't that for monks and yoga experts? But don't worry. The kind of meditation we're talking about is simple, practical, and something anyone can do. Meditation is like a workout for your soul. Just like exercise strengthens your body, meditation strengthens your ability to control your inner world. It helps you become more centered, more peaceful, and more in tune with your true self. Here's a simple meditation technique you can start with. Find a comfortable place to sit or lie down. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Then, focus your attention on your breath. Notice the sensation of air moving in and out of your body. When your mind wanders, and it will, that's totally normal. Gently bring your attention back to your breath. Start with just 5 minutes a day. It might feel challenging at first, and that's okay. Your mind might race, or you might feel restless. This is all part of the process. The key is to keep coming back to your breath over and over again. As you practice this meditation, you're training your mind to be present and focused. This is crucial for controlling your soul. When you can stay present, you're less likely to get caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past. You're more able to listen to the quiet voice of your soul. Meditation also helps you create space between your thoughts and your reactions. You start to realize that you don't have to believe every thought that pops into your head or act on every emotion you feel. This space gives you the power to choose how you want to respond to life, rather than just reacting automatically. Over time, you might notice that meditation starts to change how you feel in your everyday life. Many people find that they feel calmer, more centered, and better able to handle stress. They might also notice that they're more in tune with their intuition, that inner knowing that comes from the soul. Remember, meditation is a practice. Some days will feel easier than others, and that's completely normal. The important thing is to keep showing up, even if it's just for a few minutes a day. As you get more comfortable with meditation, you can gradually increase the time you spend doing it. You might also explore other forms of meditation, like guided visualizations or walking meditation. The key is to find what works best for you. The third step in controlling your soul is setting intentions. This is where you start actively shaping your inner world, rather than just observing it. Setting intentions is like giving your soul a roadmap for where you want to go in life. An intention is different from a goal. A goal is something specific you want to achieve, like getting a promotion or running a marathon. An intention is more about how you want to be. It's about aligning your actions with your deepest values and desires. Here's how you can start setting intentions. Take some time to reflect on what really matters to you. What kind of person do you want to be? How do you want to feel in your daily life? What values do you want to embody? Once you've thought about these things, try creating a simple intention. It could be something like, I intend to approach each day with kindness and curiosity, or I intend to trust my intuition and follow my heart. Write your intention down and put it somewhere you'll see it every day. The power of setting intentions is that it helps you stay connected to your soul's guidance throughout your day. When you're faced with a decision or a challenging situation, you can check in with your intention. Does your choice align with the person you want to be? Setting intentions also helps you stay focused on what truly matters to you. It's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life and lose sight of your deeper purpose. By regularly setting and revisiting your intentions, you're reminding yourself of what's truly important. Here's a simple exercise to help you set intentions. Each morning, before you start your day, take a few minutes to sit quietly. Take some deep breaths and connect with your inner self. Then, set an intention for the day. It could be as simple as today, I intend to be patient with myself and others, or today, I intend to notice the beauty around me. As you go through your day, try to keep your intention in mind. You might even want to set reminders on your phone to check in with your intention throughout the day. Notice how it affects your choices and your overall state of mind. Remember, the point of setting intentions isn't to be perfect. There will be times when you forget your intention or act in ways that don't align with it. That's okay. The important thing is to keep coming back to your intention, to keep aligning yourself with your soul's guidance. Over time, as you practice setting and following through on your intentions, you'll likely notice some big changes. You might find that you're making choices that feel more authentic and fulfilling. You might notice that you're better able to stay true to yourself, even in challenging situations. Setting intentions is a powerful way to bridge the gap between your inner world and your outer actions. It's a key part of controlling your soul because it helps you live in a way that's aligned with your deepest truth. We've covered a lot of ground in our exploration of how to control your soul. We've talked about what the soul is, why controlling it matters, and the amazing benefits that come from being in tune with your deepest self. We've also looked at 3 practical steps you can take to start controlling your soul: developing self-awareness, practicing simple meditation, and setting intentions. Remember, controlling your soul isn't about forcing yourself to be something you're not. It's about listening to your inner wisdom, aligning your actions with your true self, and living a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. This journey of controlling your soul is ongoing. It's not something you achieve once and then you're done. It's a practice, something you'll continue to work on throughout your life. There will be ups and downs, moments of clarity and times of confusion. That's all part of the process. The key is to be patient with yourself and to keep showing up. Even small steps in the direction of controlling your soul can lead to big changes over time. You might not see dramatic results overnight, but if you stick with these practices, you'll likely start to notice positive shifts in how you feel and how you interact with the world. Remember, you have everything you need to control your soul already within you. Your soul is always there, waiting for you to listen to it. The practices we've discussed, self-awareness, meditation, and setting intentions, are tools to help you tune in to that inner wisdom. As you move forward on this journey, be kind to yourself. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small it might seem. And remember that every moment is a new opportunity to connect with your soul and live from that place of deep authenticity. Controlling your soul is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. It's the key to living a life that feels truly fulfilling and meaningful. So take that first step, whether it's setting aside a few minutes for self-reflection, trying out a simple meditation, or setting an intention for your day. Your soul is waiting to guide you towards your best life. Are you ready to listen?